So, Coby White was the 7th overall pick in the 2019 NBA draft. He's a guard for the Chicago Bulls. And he has had a rough start to his rookie year. Now, the thing is, it started off well. In the first game of the season, he had 17 points and he shot 46% from the field. Second game, he had 25 points and shot 62% from the field, shot 50% from 3, and he looked really well. So, if I combine it, over his first 2 games, he averaged 21 points, 4.5 rebounds, 4.5 assists on 55.2% shooting from the field, 4.17% shooting from the 41.7% shooting from 3. I almost said 4.1, that would have been really bad. And 71.4% from the line. And that's a really good start to the rookie year. Those look like rookie of the year kind of numbers. And again, it's only 2 games. And he's still coming off the bench, which I think is smart, by the way, because there are a lot of scorers in that starting lineup for the Chicago Bulls. And, Coby White, I feel like coming off the bench, he gets a little more opportunity than if he was starting. And then since those first 2 games, so he has struggled immensely. But let's get back on track. Over the last 8 games, he's averaged 8.6 points, 3 rebounds, 1.9 assists on 28% shooting from the field, 15% shooting from 3, and 68% from the line.
Wow, bro. That's crazy. That's so...
Now, the Bulls overall have been a bit underwhelming. They're 3-7 on the year at the time of recording of this video. Zach LaVine isn't exactly where I thought he'd be at this point in the year. Lauri Markkanen's been kind of disappointing so far. Wendell Carter actually has been pretty good in my opinion. Thomas Satoransky is a veteran starting point guard at this point. Coby White has struggled a bit. Otto Porter, he's been, he's been playing like he was at the beginning of the year. But it's early. It's only been 10 games so far, and I think the Bulls can turn it around. But with Coby White, again, this is a player that is very electric. He's going to have an up and down rookie year. There are going to be stretches like the first 2 games of the season with him, in my opinion. There are going to be stretches where over like the past 8 games where he's going to struggle. And I think that you just have to get used to that. As a Bulls fan, I would just recommend just get used to that. It's going to happen. And really, I think he's going to be fine. Because of his ability to score, I would continue to keep him coming off the bench. I would start Thomas Satoransky and, keep Satoransky as that veteran stability point guard who actually is playing very well in his role. And I have Coby White, who's going to have great games. There will be games that he looks like the second coming of Damian Lillard. There are going to be games he looks like Brandon Knight at his worst. So that's what to expect. And honestly, I think I wouldn't be surprised if he put up similar numbers to what Brandon Knight put up as a rookie. Brandon Knight wasn't necessarily the quote-unquote best rookie, but Brandon Knight had a solid rookie year. It wasn't rookie of the year type numbers, but they were very, very solid numbers. And I think, again, Coby White's going to put them up like that. Brandon Knight, again, as a rookie, almost 13 points, 2 to 3 rebounds, 4 assists, 41% shooting from the field. I think that's what Coby White can get to in his rookie year. I don't see him getting much more because, again, I think Zach LaVine, once the ball starts rolling, he's going to be up to maybe 24, 25 points a night. Lauri Markkanen, once he starts shooting the ball better than he has, because he's not shooting the ball well at all. But once he starts getting back in rhythm, I expect him to be a new 20-point guy. Otto Porter Jr. is good for anywhere between 10 to 15 points. Wendell Carter Jr. is a 13-point guy, in my opinion. So, I think there's going to be some growing pains. But I think if you continue to have him come off the bench and you keep on having him lead the second unit, Coby White's gonna be fine. He's gonna be fine. It's weird because you would say that like you drafted him in the top 10, and he should be more than just a sixth man. But Jamal Crawford was the 8th overall pick, and he's been fine. And he's had a fine career. I wouldn't say it's been disappointing. I think Coby White, I just don't think if they're gonna keep that core of Zach and Laurie, can you really have a third like big time scorer potentially in that starting rotation? Now, Jim Boylen doesn't have the best rotations. I've heard many Bulls fans talk about how bad his rotations have been.
Yikes! That's gonna be a fucking yikes from me. Holy shit.
So I don't know exactly if he would do this, but I think it could work. And I'm an expert, so this might sound really stupid, but maybe if like in the future they do start Coby White, maybe what they do is like they start him, but then they pull him like earlier than like the rest of the starters do. So he plays like the first few minutes with the starters, he gets pulled, and then they run him with the second unit. He plays more with the second unit. So I think that could be an option, or something like Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum, where like you try to have at least one of those two guys on the floor at all times. You could do that with like him and Zach, and they split time with like Lauri Markkanen. But that's just something that a coach not named Jim Boylen would think about. But again, also Jim Boylen isn't helping the situation at all. Coby White, first 2 games played around 27 to 30 minutes, then 22, 16, 20, 19, 23, 23, 29, 27. So, actually, now that I think about it, minus like that 3-game stretch, he's playing consistent minutes in my opinion. But some of these games is bad. Like he had a game where he went 0 for 6 from the field, had only 1 point. He had a game where he had like 23% from the field. So he's struggling, but I think it's typical for rookies to struggle. So we've seen the same thing with RJ Barrett. We've seen the same thing with a bunch of players. But Steph Curry was another example. Steph Curry did not get off to the hottest start of his rookie year, and he actually finished like second in Rookie of the Year voting when he eventually came back. So just keep that in your mind, Bulls fans, because it's going to be, you have to be patient with him. Coby White is not exactly a guy who's going to be a consistently like good player early on, at least. What I mean by that is, I don't mean like he's just going to suck completely, but like, what I mean by that is like he's going to have stretches where he doesn't shoot the ball well. He's going to have stretches where he looks amazing. You're just going to get used to that. You gotta get used to that. And again, I see him putting up like Brandon Knight numbers or Kemba Walker type numbers in his rookie year. They both average around like 13 points a game as rookies, so it's not a bad comparison by any means. And I think it could work out really well in the future. I think Coby White has just a whole arsenal of scoring moves that can translate to the NBA. So again, I think it can work. It totally can work. But you have to be patient. So that's where I'm at with Coby White. And again, it's really too early to give up on the Bulls. It's only been 10 games. This isn't the NFL where you give up on teams after 10 games. It's been only 10 games. This is more like, so I'll give you an example of like why he's gonna give up. Miami Heat back in 2016 to the 2016-2017 season, they were off to a horrible start through the first half of the year, and then they like go on a hot streak and almost make the playoffs. And so just be patient with that. And also, they're a young team. They're gonna have to learn how to play together, and they also need to fire Jim Boylen. So have a nice night, guys. If you like this video, please feel free to like the video, subscribe, hit the notification button so you get notifications whenever I record a video and post it on YouTube. And I stutter a lot. Have a nice night.